Have you ever wondered how many women move through life without realizing just how magnetic they truly are? And no, I am not talking only about physical beauty. There is something much deeper than that. I mean the quiet presence you carry, the way you walk, the way you notice things, the way you speak, react, and express yourself, and the energy people feel when you are near them. Sometimes that presence can completely capture someone's attention before you even say a single word. The surprising part is that you may not even recognize it in yourself. You might look in the mirror and focus on the things you wish were different. Maybe you think you do not match a certain beauty standard, so you assume you cannot be especially attractive. But attraction does not work that simply. It is not just about a perfect figure, flawless makeup, or having the features everyone else says are beautiful. What truly draws people in is often much quieter. It is the confidence in the way you carry yourself. It is the authenticity in your expressions. It is the feeling that you are comfortable being yourself instead of desperately trying to impress everyone around you. There is a certain energy some women carry that cannot be copied, purchased, or created with an appearance alone. And today, I want to reveal the clearest signs that you may be much more attractive than you believe. Because men notice things that women often overlook. Sometimes we notice them immediately, even when we never say a word about them. Some of these signals are incredibly subtle, which is exactly why you may have missed them for years. But once you understand them, you may start looking at yourself through completely different eyes. And stay with me until the 9th sign, because it is one of the most easily missed signs of attraction, yet it can be incredibly powerful. You may have experienced it many times without realizing what was happening. One of the clearest signs is when men become nervous around you. This is one of the most real and most misunderstood signals. When a man suddenly becomes awkward, struggles to maintain eye contact, seems unusually quiet, or appears slightly uncomfortable around you, it is easy to assume he is simply not interested. But sometimes, the exact opposite is happening. Your presence may be affecting him more strongly than he expected. Pay attention to the small changes in his body language. When a man feels strongly drawn toward a woman who captures his attention, his body can reveal emotions that his words are trying to hide. He may touch his neck, fix his shirt, adjust his sleeves, move his hands repeatedly, cross and uncross his arms, change the speed of his speech, or suddenly become quieter than usual. He may start a sentence and lose track of what he was going to say. He might laugh at something that was not even particularly funny. He may look at you and then quickly look away because holding your gaze suddenly feels more intense than he expected. This does not always mean attraction, because nervous behavior can have many causes. But when it happens alongside other signs of interest, it can be revealing. The important thing is not one isolated movement. Look at the pattern. Look at how he behaves with you compared with everyone else. A man who is normally confident may suddenly become careful with his words when he is around a woman who genuinely captivates him. It is not necessarily because he has nothing to say. Sometimes it is because he suddenly cares too much about how he comes across. Your presence has changed the atmosphere for him. And that is something many women completely underestimate. You may think you are simply standing there, having a normal conversation, while someone across from you is quietly trying to regain his composure. Keep watching, because the next signs can reveal even more about the effect your presence has on people. Your attitude, your energy, and the way you carry yourself can make even a confident and experienced man suddenly feel like he is out of his comfort zone. If you notice a man who is normally calm and relaxed suddenly becoming tense around you, changing the way he stands, adjusting his posture, or becoming strangely focused on tiny details, understand that your presence may be having a stronger effect than you realize. He may suddenly become more careful with his words. He may fix his clothes, move his hands, look away, then look back again. These little changes can reveal that something about you has caught his attention. And here is something important. Do not make yourself smaller just to make someone else feel more comfortable. You do not need to lower your confidence, hide your personality, or become less expressive because someone seems nervous around you. Let yourself be fully present. If a man becomes nervous in your presence, it may be because he sees you as someone who matters enough for him to care about the impression he makes. That does not automatically mean every nervous man is attracted to you, but when the behavior appears together with other signs of interest, it becomes much more meaningful. Your presence can create an emotional reaction without you trying to create one. And sometimes that is exactly what makes you unforgettable. So keep this in mind the next time you notice someone behaving differently around you. The change may have less to do with what you said and more to do with what he felt when you walked into the room. Another powerful sign is when people keep looking at you even when they have no reason to speak with you. It sounds simple, but it is one of those signals that many women completely overlook. When someone finds you naturally attractive or interesting, their attention can return to you again and again without them even planning it. Maybe you are simply walking down the street, entering a cafe, waiting somewhere, or standing quietly in a line. You are not trying to get attention. You are simply doing your own thing, yet someone notices you. The first glance is not always the important part. Pay attention to the second glance. Someone may walk past you, continue for a moment, and then turn their head to look again. That second look can be meaningful because the first glance created enough of an impression that their attention was pulled back toward you. And this does not require dramatic clothing, perfect hair, or an expensive appearance. Sometimes it is your posture. Sometimes it is your calm expression. Sometimes it is simply the natural way you move through the world. There is something about your presence that makes people want another moment to take you in. Real attraction does not always announce itself loudly. Often it happens quietly through attention. Many women miss these moments because they are busy thinking about where they are going, checking their phones, completing errands, or worrying about how they look. They are not even watching the people around them. But once you become aware of these little signals, you may start noticing something you never noticed before. You may realize that people have been paying attention to you all along. And if you catch that second glance, do not immediately dismiss it. It may be a small moment, but small moments can reveal a lot. Another revealing sign is that you constantly underestimate your own attractiveness while other people keep giving you compliments. This is one of the most interesting contradictions. You may wake up one morning feeling completely ordinary. You look in the mirror and see nothing special. Maybe your hair is not exactly how you wanted it. Maybe your clothes feel simple. Maybe you are focused on one small feature you wish you could change. Then someone unexpectedly tells you that you look beautiful. Someone else says you have an amazing presence. Another person might even say, "I cannot explain it, but there is something about you." Do not assume these comments are meaningless. When different people repeatedly notice something about you that you personally fail to see, it is worth paying attention. Your appeal may not come from perfection. In fact, it may be the opposite. Women who are not constantly trying to look flawless can sometimes create a much stronger impression because they appear natural and comfortable in themselves. Your hairstyle does not have to be perfect. Your clothes do not need to be expensive. Your body does not have to match some unrealistic ideal. Yet the compliments continue. Why? Because attraction reaches far beyond what a mirror can show you. It can live in your voice, your smile, your laugh, your expressions, your gestures, and the natural way you interact with people. Sometimes the strongest quality is the fact that you are not trying too hard. You are simply being yourself. And that authenticity can make you stand out without any effort. So the next time someone tells you that there is something special about you, do not immediately reject the compliment or search for a reason it cannot be true. Pause for a second. Listen. Maybe they are noticing something you have been too busy criticizing yourself to see. And this next sign is even more revealing, so keep watching. Another strong signal appears when someone repeatedly finds small reasons to stay close to you, even when the reason itself is almost meaningless. Many women overlook this because the interaction seems completely normal. A man may ask you a simple question. He may request a small favor. He may ask for your opinion about something he could easily figure out himself. He might need help with something minor, or suddenly discover another reason to continue a conversation that could have ended moments ago. On the surface, these moments can look casual. But sometimes the real purpose is not the question at all. It is the opportunity to interact with you. When a man is interested but does not feel confident enough to approach directly, he may choose a safer path. Instead of saying exactly what he feels, he creates small opportunities to be around you. He may walk past your area more often. He may join conversations where you are present. He may find another excuse to ask you something he already knows. The actual task becomes secondary. The real reward is getting another moment of your attention. Look at the pattern rather than one isolated interaction. Does he repeatedly find ways to be near you? Does his voice change when he speaks to you? Does he smile differently? Does he maintain eye contact longer than necessary, then suddenly look away? Does he seem more alert when you enter the room? These details can tell a different story when they happen again and again. Sometimes a simple question like, "Can you help me with this?" is not really about the task. It can be a comfortable excuse to open a door between you. And once you start noticing these patterns, you may realize that some of the smallest interactions around you carry much more meaning than you originally thought. Sometimes the message behind that behavior is simple. I do not know how to approach you, but I still want to be close to you. Now, there is another sign that can be uncomfortable to recognize. Sometimes other women criticize you even when you have given them no real reason to do so. I know this may not be the easiest thing to hear, but it is worth understanding. When a woman naturally stands out, not only because of her appearance, but because of her confidence, presence, attitude, and the way she carries herself, not everyone around her will respond positively. And that does not automatically mean you have done anything wrong. In many situations, you are not even trying to attract attention. You are simply living your life. Yet you may notice certain women giving you unusual looks, making subtle comments, acting cold for no obvious reason, or criticizing things that do not really deserve criticism. Suddenly your confidence is too much. Your appearance is too polished. Your kindness is somehow suspicious. Even the way you speak or dress can become something they want to comment on. But here is the part you need to remember. Not every negative reaction is a reflection of your behavior. Sometimes people respond to what your presence brings up inside them. Your confidence may remind someone of what they wish they had. Your comfort with yourself may highlight their own insecurities. Your ability to walk into a room without needing approval can make someone who constantly seeks approval feel uncomfortable. Have you ever been called arrogant when you had barely spoken? Have you ever noticed someone suddenly competing with you over something you never even wanted? Have you ever received criticism that seemed to appear from nowhere? Sometimes the reaction has very little to do with what you actually did. And before you take it personally, stop and look at the situation clearly. This does not mean every woman who disagrees with you is jealous or insecure. That would be unfair and unrealistic. Many women will appreciate you, support you, admire your confidence, and even feel inspired by the way you carry yourself. But when criticism has no clear reason, when someone repeatedly tries to make you feel smaller, or when their behavior seems focused on dimming your confidence, do not automatically assume there is something wrong with you. Sometimes, the discomfort belongs to them. And if you have ever experienced this, stay with me, because the next signs can reveal an even more natural kind of attraction. Another subtle sign appears when complete strangers smile at you for no obvious reason. Think about those ordinary moments when you are walking down the street, browsing through a store, waiting somewhere, or riding public transportation. You are not talking to anyone. You are not trying to get attention. You are simply going about your day. Then suddenly, someone looks at you and smiles. Sometimes it is a man. Sometimes it is another person who simply seems drawn to your presence. He may not say anything. He may not even attempt to start a conversation. He simply smiles and continues on his way. Sometimes the smile is shy, almost like he is embarrassed that you noticed him looking. Other times it is more confident, as though his expression is quietly saying, "There is something about you." That reaction can happen before any conversation begins. And while a smile by itself does not prove romantic attraction, it can be a sign that someone responded positively to your presence in that moment. Attraction is not always about perfect features or dramatic beauty. Sometimes it is about the feeling someone gets when they see you. The way you walk, the expression on your face, your relaxed body language, the way you look around without desperately searching for approval. There can be something naturally inviting about a person who appears comfortable in her own skin. People can sense warmth, confidence, openness, and energy before a single word is exchanged. That is why a simple smile can sometimes reveal more than a compliment. It is an immediate reaction. It happens naturally. There is no time to carefully construct an image or plan the perfect response. So the next time a stranger smiles at you unexpectedly, do not instantly assume it means nothing. You do not need to build an entire story around it either. Just notice it. Receive it. Let yourself understand that your presence can create a positive reaction without you doing anything at all. And once you start noticing these small moments, you may realize just how often people respond to you before you ever notice them. Now comes a more delicate sign, and this one requires a little more maturity when you interpret it. Sometimes men who are already in relationships may appear unusually aware of your presence. You might notice them looking at you more often than expected, becoming more attentive when you enter a room, or suddenly changing their behavior when you are nearby. This does not automatically mean they want a relationship with you, and it certainly does not mean you should encourage inappropriate behavior. People in relationships can notice attractive or interesting people just as anyone else can. The important part is understanding what their attention may reveal without turning one glance into a dramatic conclusion. When someone is naturally striking, people may notice them even when they have no intention of acting on that attraction. A man might briefly look, then return his attention to the person he is with. He might become slightly more aware of how he looks or carries himself. He may seem unusually attentive to what you are saying during a group conversation. These small reactions can happen without conscious planning. And this is where many women make a mistake. They either ignore every signal completely or assume every signal means something enormous. The truth is usually somewhere in between. Notice patterns, not isolated moments. If someone repeatedly pays attention to you, consistently seeks your presence, and behaves differently around you, that may tell you something about the effect you have on him. But attraction does not equal intention, and noticing you does not give anyone permission to cross boundaries. Your value does not depend on whether a man is willing to act on his feelings. In fact, one of the most powerful things you can do is remain grounded. You can recognize that you are attractive without needing every person who notices you to prove it. And that confidence changes everything. Because when you stop chasing validation, you become much better at recognizing genuine attention from meaningless behavior. Keep that distinction in mind, because the next sign goes even deeper into the way people respond to your presence. Your presence does not simply disappear into the background. Sometimes, even men who are already committed to someone else may find it difficult not to notice you. That does not mean their behavior is right, and it certainly does not mean you are doing anything to encourage it. But the reality is that people can notice someone without planning to. You might be at a social event, walking down the street, sitting in a cafe, or simply waiting somewhere, and suddenly you catch a man looking at you for a little longer than necessary. He may try to hide it. He may quickly look away when you notice. But sometimes his body language reveals what he is trying not to show. Attraction is not always something people consciously choose. A person can experience a reaction before they have even had time to think about it. But remember this clearly, you are not responsible for another person's thoughts or reactions. You are not provoking someone simply by existing, looking good, carrying yourself confidently, or being comfortable in your own skin. Your appearance, personality, warmth, confidence, and natural presence can attract attention without any intention behind it. You do not need to feel guilty for being noticed. You also do not need to make yourself uncomfortable just because someone else has failed to control where they place their attention. What matters is how you respond and what boundaries you choose to maintain. And sometimes, the most powerful response is simply to remain calm, grounded, and respectful of yourself. Your presence can be noticeable without becoming an invitation. Keep that distinction clear. It will help you understand the next signs without turning every glance into a story. Because sometimes, the strongest evidence of your appeal is not what you do to get attention, but how much attention appears when you are doing absolutely nothing. Another sign appears when you underestimate yourself, even while your ordinary photos receive an unusual amount of attention. Think about those moments when you post a simple picture without spending hours planning the perfect pose. Maybe you are wearing a basic shirt. Maybe there is no dramatic makeup, no carefully designed background, and no attempt to look provocative. You simply share a normal moment from your day. Then suddenly, the likes, comments, messages, and reactions begin appearing. You look at the picture and wonder, what is everyone seeing? There is nothing special about this. But perhaps that is exactly the point. It may not be the picture that creates the reaction. It may be the person in it. Real attractiveness does not always need to announce itself. It does not have to be loud, revealing, or carefully produced. Sometimes what captures people is the natural expression in your eyes, the relaxed way you hold yourself, the confidence in your face, or simply the feeling that you are not trying desperately to impress anyone. That kind of authenticity can come through a screen. People can sense when a photo feels natural instead of forced. And this is where many women misunderstand their own appeal. They assume they need to do more, wear more, show more, edit more, create a more perfect version of themselves. But sometimes the thing people are responding to is the part you are trying to hide beneath all that effort. Your natural presence may already be enough. A simple outfit can be enough. A normal smile can be enough. An everyday moment can be enough. So if you receive attention from a photo that you considered completely ordinary, do not automatically assume people are being random. It may be another reminder that what makes you attractive cannot always be measured by how much effort you put into your appearance. And once you understand that, you may stop trying so hard to prove something you already possess. Another sign is when men seem unusually confused or uncertain around you. This can be one of the most obvious signals, yet it is also one of the easiest to misunderstand. Maybe you have experienced this before. A man gives you plenty of attention, he starts conversations, he looks for reasons to see you, he compliments you, he seems genuinely interested. Then, without warning, he becomes distant. He stops messaging, he pulls back, he disappears for a while. Then, a few days later, he returns as if nothing ever happened. Naturally, you start asking questions. What changed? Was he playing a game? Did he lose interest? Did you do something wrong? Sometimes there is a much simpler explanation, although it is not the only possible one. A person can feel attracted and still become uncertain about what to do with those feelings. Strong attraction can create pressure, especially when someone sees another person as impressive, confident, or difficult to read. He may worry about rejection. He may feel intimidated. He may not know how to express himself without revealing too much. So instead of moving closer, he creates distance. Then, after thinking about it, he returns. This does not mean every man who disappears is secretly overwhelmed by attraction. Sometimes people simply lose interest, become busy, or are emotionally unavailable. But when the pattern repeatedly includes strong attention, sudden withdrawal, and then renewed effort to connect, it can reveal an internal struggle. Some men pull away because they do not feel confident enough. Others need time to decide whether they are brave enough to take the next step. Either way, the important lesson is not to chase someone simply because they are confused. Watch their actions. Let consistency matter. Attraction without respect, communication, and consistency is not enough. So the next time someone moves toward you, backs away, and then returns, do not immediately blame yourself. Ask what the pattern is actually showing you. And most importantly, do not abandon your standards just because someone cannot make up their mind. And now we come to one of the strongest signs of all. You do not fully understand your own effect on people. This may sound strange, but many women who naturally attract attention are not walking around thinking about how attractive they are. In fact, some of them spend years doubting themselves. They compare their appearance with other women. They question whether they are beautiful enough, interesting enough, confident enough, or worthy enough. They look at what they believe they lack, while everyone else is noticing what they naturally possess. And the difference can be enormous. You may walk into a room without trying to become the center of attention, yet people still notice when you arrive. You may speak in a simple and relaxed way without trying to sound impressive, and somehow, people remember what you said. You may laugh naturally, express an honest opinion, or simply sit quietly and still create an impression. Why? Because you are not performing. You are not desperately trying to control how everyone sees you. You are simply existing as yourself. There is a unique strength in that. Authenticity has a way of making a person memorable because there is no obvious effort behind it. And when you stop constantly asking, "Am I attractive enough?" something changes. You become less focused on proving your value and more comfortable experiencing your own life. That confidence becomes visible. It shows in the way you walk. It shows in the way you speak. It shows in the way you handle attention without becoming dependent on it. But if you never recognize this quality within yourself, You may keep searching outside yourself for proof. You may wait for compliments, messages, likes, or someone's approval before believing what others have already seen. Do not make that mistake. Your power is not created by someone noticing you. Their attention simply reveals that something was already there. And once you begin to recognize that for yourself, you stop needing the world to convince you. That is when your presence becomes even more powerful.